Welcome to our church family. Please stand as you're able and sing the hymn, Holy, 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 that will be up on the screen in a minute. And remain standing for the invocation followed by the Lord's Prayer. Mother, Father, God, thank you for this great opportunity of gathering with people of like minds. Allow us this time to open our minds to all the possibilities you present us with. Allow us to absorb the great love and the call to worship. I am an immortal child of God living in this body on earth. I will tune my free will with the infinite intelligence of the Spirit, and my only desire will be to do the will of the Creator who placed me here. We ask for all people in our congregation that we may strive to make ourselves and all others rich with the knowledge that God is in all of us. Bless all that are here today or listening to us, that we may serve the universe with truth, kindness, and beauty. Pray for all of those in need of comfort, for those in need of basic needs such as food, water, shelter, and medical attention. Pray for all those who are alone in hospitals or hospices or nursing homes, that they will feel the love and healing available to them. Pray that all people of the world are joined in the wish to see peace on earth. Pray that all understand that Spirit gives us everything. Let us strive to know Spirit first, and then use the wisdom of counsel with infinite intelligence to desire and do only what the Spirit wills. Allow all of us to be a source of enlightenment to all we come in contact with. Please pray with me the prayer that Jesus taught his followers. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. You may be seated. But Jesus said to them, My Father works even until now, so I also work. John 5:17. Bless the reading of the Scriptures. In this very short statement, Jesus, representing spiritual awareness, shows us the true relationship between Spirit's work and the work performed by men. The laws and ideas of spirits are always working. They're the natural processes. They are eternal processes. We call them natural laws. They never go away. Humans don't work the same way. We don't actually create the way that Spirit creates. What we do is copy the creative process, and then we say we have created something. We bring forth into manifestation from the already finished creation. When we can accomplish this, we are in every way a true worker. Indeed, no matter how hard we try, on our own, we're not capable of creating anything. I'm going to tell you a little story about this. There once was a man of science who thought he had made a great discovery, and he called to the heavens, God, watch this. Just watch me. I can make a man without your help. And the clouds parted, and an array of golden sunshine appeared, and a voice said, Oh, let me see how you do this. So the man swelled up with his own importance, started laying out his tools and everything that he needed, and covered a table with a cloth, and washed his hands and dried them, and walked over to the table and said, I'm glad to show you. First you take this dirt. Wait a minute, the voice boomed. If you're going to do this all by yourself, you have to give my dirt back to me. And that's the way it is. Everything here, everything that we know that exists, was made by God. God is in all things. And everything that exists that was made by man was made with the ingredients that God has provided us with. And God exists in all those ingredients. Every discovery we make is just a discovery of how God created something to work. Without his creation, we could not live. It would not be possible for us to be here. John 5:19-20. Jesus answered, saying to them, Truly, truly, I say to you, that the Son can do nothing of his own accord, except what he sees the Father doing. For the things which the Father does, the same the Son does also. For the Father loves his Son, and he shows him everything that he does, and will show him greater works than these, so that you may marvel. According to the metaphysical interpretation of the New Testament, before machines were created, which would have been at the time Jesus was here, special skills and crafts were handed down from fathers to sons. Even now, a lot of specialties like blacksmith and coppersmiths carry secrets that they have been told, that have been carried down from generations to them. And these secrets used to belong to all the craft people, and they were not revealed to anybody except their sons. From childhood, a son was taught all of these things. He'd spend all of his waking time with his dad. Likewise, a daughter spent all of her time with the mother, and the mother taught her all of her secrets. So one might have seen a father mixing formulas and finishing objects in the presence of his son, while apprenticed and other workers were in another room because they weren't allowed to see how this happened. The hope of the father was someday he could turn the family business over to his son, and it would continue in the same way in every detail for the next generation. Well, Jesus was a regional teacher and healer. He didn't really gain his knowledge from schools or priests, because his knowledge was always greater than theirs and had a different focus to it. His focus was the love of the Father and the great love that we should feel for each other, as well as the Father. The teachers and the priests of the time were really like apprentices. They were selected and trained to learn the secrets of God's kingdom, but they didn't understand them. They could say them, but they couldn't explain them. Because God, that energy that we think of as being our Heavenly Father, didn't reveal anything to these people. He revealed it all to Jesus. And Jesus taught constantly to God, constantly. He was with him all day long, all night long, all the time. He did not gain his knowledge from books. He learned it from what God told him. Nothing was withheld from him because he was totally committed. His intent at all times was to do what had to be done in harmony with infinite intelligence. If we think that we want to learn any of those secrets, we have to try to remain in communication as much as we can with that infinite intelligence. We have to try to align and be in harmony with what's going on in the universe. I don't mean the gossip pages or the news. I mean the universe. All that exists. So, what will happen when we create or we manifest without being in communication with Spirit? What happens? What about the times when we willfully create something that we want to manifest, that we know is not in alignment with Spirit? You all know what that is. It's called karma. We do it. We know every action creates a force of energy that returns to us in like kind. because we believe in reincarnation, we also believe that this may follow us from lifetime to lifetime until we resolve it. Not a very happy thing, huh? But if we choose actions that bring happiness to others and success to others, the fruit of our karma is happiness and success. It's only when we make selfish choices that are harmful to others or hurt others, or we make other people unhappy or bring sorrow to them, that we get bad karma. So it occurs whether we make a choice for bad or good, and no choice is still a choice. We're always making those choices. Karma is the internal assertion of human freedom. Our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, all of these things weave together to make that karma. Good or bad, indifferent, we make it. We make it with what we think, what we do, how we act. Everything about us, we make it. If you step back and witness the choices you're making, as you're making them, then just in the act of witnessing, you take the whole process from unconscious into the conscious realm. That means you have a choice. You're not doing it unconsciously, it's in the conscious realm. You can ask, what are the consequences? Is this choice going to bring happiness to people around me? Or is it going to cause suffering? Would this choice be in harmony with spirit? Only one choice will create happiness. It will result in a form of behavior that is called right action. And that's when we know something is right, even if it doesn't make sense to our rational mind. You know, we think too much. We have to trust our intuition more. We have to remember all of us were made by God. We all have that piece of God within our body, and we can call on it any time. But sometimes things happen fast. Remember some time when you knew something bad was going to happen and you just felt sick. I mean sick, you know, stomach sick, like little kids have stomach aches all the time. It's a reaction to something in their environment. Or sometime you had to confront somebody with something that wasn't very pleasant and you really just didn't want to do it, and you could feel that acid indigestion, that agita. It's awful. It sweeps through your body. It's telling you, this isn't the right way to do this, or this isn't the right thing to do. Do we listen? No. This is a true story. I tell on myself. But when I was in 5th grade, my brother, who's older than I was, had told me a whole bunch of these jokes that he played when he was in school, and they were so much fun, and he'd do it to other people. And so he told us about how he put soap on a fountain. You know, in those days, you didn't have bottled water. You had to drink it out of a fountain. And so I went to school, and I told my girlfriend, Barbara, let's do this. This will be so much fun, you know. So we put soap on the fountain, and we hide around the corner, and we stand there waiting. Let's see who comes up to it. One of the 6th grade teachers came up and drank out of it. I thought I was going to throw up. I mean, seriously, I was so nauseated. She took off, left me standing there. I was frozen. And then he looked at me, and I knew I had to walk over there. I'm still trembling just thinking about it. I was so scared. You know, it was like the little rabbit caught in the trap. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I'll fix it, I'll clean it up. You know, I know this is an awful thing, I won't do it again. Well, you know, the poor teacher's like, it's okay. You promise me you won't do it again. I won't do it. Please, go finish your lunch. I was more than happy to, you know, bounce off. And the man's name was Mr. Bloom. And he had a very devil-looking face. He never looked really happy, so you couldn't tell. You know, I mean, I wasn't sure whether he was going to, you know, like, do something about this or not. But I went home and I told my mother, and I sat there and I cried. And my mother was like, oh, Cheryl, you know, you shouldn't do these things. You know that's not nice. Why did you do it? I thought it would be fun. It's not fun, no. better, I told my mother, but I still had this weight on me. And a week later, my mother comes back from the hairdressers, and Mrs. Bloom was in there telling everybody this delightful story about this little frightened girl and how she reacted to Mr. Bloom's authoritative, presence. And they're all laughing about it. So when my mother came in, they told her, and thank goodness she was able to say, I know all about it. And when she got home, she told me. And at first, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It kind of sounded like they were making fun of me, but still, nobody was they didn't think badly of me. So when I realized that it was going to be okay, it felt like somebody picked up this log off of me. It was like, oh, okay. I did the wrong thing, but maybe I did the right thing afterwards. Okay? And just as a side note, he became my 6th grade teacher the next year. He was very nice to me, and I was extremely nice to him. But it's easy to remember a time when something happened to you, and you just felt sick about it. How about a time when you have a constant happy memory? Something that happened that just made you happy for a long time. Get one of those memories. Think about how you felt. You were happy, right? You were carefree. You felt healthy. You felt whole. You felt like you were really in that moment. Our own body was created to let us know the difference between a bad choice and a good choice. You can ask your body if it feels good about the choice, if you can feel comfortable about it. Consciously put your attention in your heart and ask if it feels good. Our hearts are intuitive and holistic. Our bodies can help with choices. When our communication with spirit concerning a choice is not clear-cut, when a choice has to be made suddenly, and we don't have time. We don't have time to sit down and meditate or sit down and pray. But you can depend on yourself because you're made that way. You are your own barometer. You can feel bad versus good. That's what some of those emotions are for. They're to help us know what's really going on. Hopefully, we learn to listen to our bodies. Hopefully, we learn to communicate as much as possible. I know you can't do it constantly. It would be nice if we could. But if we try to communicate as often as possible with infinite intelligence, if we ask it to stay with us, if we ask it to help us, if we try really hard to listen when it's talking to us, and talk quiet. Sometimes God's voice is a whisper. So you have to be quiet. You have to be reverent when you're asking for help. But you can get it, and you can hear it. And you can help yourself be more aligned than you are now in your actions, in your thoughts, in your creations, and how you manifest. Because that will make you happy, regardless of what your ego is telling you. If we can make most of our choices in harmony with Spirit, the way the Spirit showed Jesus to do it, if we can copy the creative process to bring something positive into manifestation from God's already finished creation, that is in alignment with Spirit, just as Jesus learned how to do. Then we are manifesting and creating the way that we were created to do it. And wouldn't that be wonderful? And so it is.